everyone, so today I've got a slightly different video for all of you. Today I'm very excited to announce I've got a little bit of a collaboration going on here. So now today I'm going to be talking about a small cap penny stock which I personally would be willing to hold on to long term. But on top of that, I'm very delighted to say that I've also got Jimmy from The Rookie Investor talking about one of his penny stocks he would be willing to hold on to long term. So this definitely isn't a video you guys want to miss. If you haven't already, go check out Jimmy from The Rookie Investor. He is honestly a very great content creator around the finance sector of YouTube, all about shares and the ASX market. So now a big part of stock investing is keeping yourself interested and updated. So if you're currently looking and hearing about the stock market and the different ASX movements, it does help. You know, being on top of it, learning about it, understanding it is all a huge part of it. It's not just putting your money into something. You need to understand what you're doing. So following these different influencers such as Jimmy from The Rookie Investor is great. I've been subscribed to him for a while now, and honestly, his videos are great and awesome for understanding about different stocks. So do consider watching some of his videos and subscribing. So I'm very glad that Jimmy's here today. I'm not going to hold on to you guys forever, but I also did a collaboration on Jimmy's channel where he put a clip of me in. We talked about our personal stock choices to have on our watch list for March. So go check that out too. And on that video, he let me talk first. So I think the only appropriate thing to do would be to let him talk first on my video. So take it away, Jimmy, and thank you.
Thanks for having me on the channel, Adam. For those who don't know, my name is Jimmy. I run my own YouTube channel called The Rookie Investor. So it's an absolute privilege to be on Adam's channel. Guys, if you are, new to Adam's channel and this is the first video you've ever seen, make sure you look at previous videos of his, look to subscribe. He really posts awesome content, and that's why I'm really stoked to be on this video today. It's a real honor. So thanks for having me on, mate. So in keeping with the video, I will be choosing a penny stock to hold long term on the ASX. So the penny stock on the ASX that I have chosen for today's video is a company called Dr. Care Anywhere, with a ticker symbol DOC. They are currently trading for $1.05 Australian at the time of this video. So Dr. Care Anywhere is a telehealth company. So effectively what that means is they provide medical assistance or medical expertise over the internet without actually having to meet face to face. So the company offers two main services. Okay, so the first one is called their virtual GP. So virtual GP is basically a meeting with a general practitioner over the phone to provide medical advice, write you prescriptions, and potentially even provide sick notes for your work. So it's basically like going to the GP, but you don't actually have to go into the waiting room. You can do it straight over the phone or straight over the internet. So their second segment is their internet hospital segment. This provides a similar type of service. However, it's more so for people that require more specialist help with whatever, treatment they require. So it's not necessarily just a consultation for a cold or flu. It might be something that requires a little bit more special expertise. But once again, they do provide that virtual consultation to prevent, patients having to actually go into the hospital all the time. So I like the idea of the company objective there. I like what they're providing to customers. Especially with what has happened in the past 12 to 18 months with this pandemic, I definitely feel like this is something that we are going to have to rely on a lot more. Rather than patients always having to go into the waiting room, for things like flus and potentially infecting, others in that waiting room. This is a really good way to get medical advice with a qualified person, but without actually having to leave the comfort of your own home if you don't have to. But before I go too much further with DOC, I just wanted to quickly mention that, with penny stocks, there is a slightly higher risk when it comes with investing money, okay? It's important to note that. This is largely due to the lack of, analyst coverage, and there's a lack of history of the company that you can rely on. Okay, with a lot of other bigger companies, like if you're talking about a large market cap stock like Apple or Facebook, you have many years of track record as an investor that you can look back on and see how they've tracked. However, in saying that, there has been a ton of world famous investors that have made an absolute killing on penny stocks, and it is what they've actually built their whole wealth on, their billions of dollars that they've made. So provided it's done right, penny stocks can really seriously provide you with fantastic returns. So due to the nature of what DOC actually do, actually providing medical assistance to people, they've actually seen a contrast in their growth due to the pandemic. So a lot of other companies have gone backwards in a lot of their major key areas, like their revenue, equity, all those sorts of things. But this has actually been a company, one of the few companies that have been a beneficiary of what has actually happened. And I'm very bullish that this change in our medical facilities and the change in the technology that we've got now, I believe this is something that we're all going to turn to, especially for the rest of my life anyway. So this pandemic has highlighted an issue in the medical industry, I believe, and this is a certain way to address that and help people to not spread viruses in the actual doctor's rooms and actually be able to seek help over the actual phone. So on the back of this pandemic, I just wanted to touch on a couple of key financial areas that DOC have just seen a massive jump in the past 12 months. Okay, so let's look at their revenue. So in 2019, they actually posted a revenue of around about $5.7 million. Fast forward to 2020, that has jumped to 11.57. So that's quite a significant growth just in a 12-month period. The second major key area is their equity. So back in 2019, they actually posted a negative equity position of negative $5 million. Okay, fast forward that to 2020, and they're in the positive at $44.9 million. Particularly for me, the equity number there has been the one that has blown me away the most. That, having such a strong positive equity number is a fantastic position for a business, particularly a penny stock as well. So I'm quite bullish on DOC going long term, guys, and that's why I wanted to bring it in this video today. Remember, guys, do your own research. If you have any comments about the stock I have produced today, make sure you comment in the comment section below. I'm sure Adam and myself will be able to have a chat with you guys down there. But once again, thanks so much for having me on the channel, Adam. I really appreciate it, and good luck with everything, man.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Very great analysis you have there. Dr. Care Anywhere is a very interesting stock to be following, so thanks for telling everyone about that. That's just one of the stocks that Jimmy has talked about. If you go onto his channel, there are plenty of different stocks he has talked about watching, talked about buying, and there's heaps more. So I wouldn't pass up on this opportunity. I'd definitely go and subscribe to him. I'll actually put a link down in the description below so you can easily subscribe to him right now. So once again, thank you very much, Jimmy. But now I'm going to be talking about the one stock which I'm personally willing to hold on to long term, a penny stock. So this is one I've actually talked about a few times on this channel before. I think it's been a little while now, but I believe the first video I made on this company was whether it's a buy now. And then that wasn't followed too far later with I just made a huge loss with the stock market. Now, very unfortunately, that video where I made a loss with the stock market was about this stock. I am currently in the loss with this company, so I just wanted to disclose that and say that I am not running at a profit here. But that doesn't mean that I don't think this is a long-term hold. I'm still holding, I've sold none, and I've in fact actually put a little bit more money into it just to sort of offset my losses because I truly do believe in this company. So this company is RotoGrow with the ticker code RGI. And this is a company that I think the industry it's in general is going to perform rather well with time. But this company is, in my opinion, one that I personally would like to be invested in long term. So now, RotoGrow is a bit of an odd company in the fact that it's part of the cannabis industry. Now there are tons of companies in the cannabis industry, that's just a fact. I mean, I'm sure that you could probably name 3 off the top of your head. There are just heaps out there. And like I said, I believe all these companies within this industry have a good chance of performing well with time due to the way the society's going and the fact that we're really increasing the demand for medicinal marijuanas. Along with this, it's getting decriminalized in more places around the world, meaning that it's much more in demand than it used to be. But there's a particular reason I'm personally invested and I personally believe in long-term investing in RotoGrow, and that's because RotoGrow isn't just part of the industry as a medicinal marijuana grower or seller. They're actually part of the industry in the fact that they have revolutionized innovated and they have a very, very nice patented design which can bring 12 times the yield with the same floor space. Now, Vertigrow is currently leading this particular industry in automated cultivating designs and, technologies to be growing cannabis. Now, their design is for many reasons very genius. Number one, it does bring a huge yield. But another factor about it that I think is personally a big aspect of the way the world's going is the fact that it is stackable technology. It has a barrel shape. I've put up a photo, I'll put it up now actually, where you can see that it can be stacked 3 times high. It has like a barrel to it. Now, the use of having this vertical type farming is a huge way the world is moving. We're running out of space. We need the most efficient use of land we can. And when combining that with a stronger yielding, more effective, design for growing cannabis in an industry that's demanding more and more cannabis, it's almost a no-brainer that Vertigrow is holding on to something that's almost a gold mine. Now, along with this, anyone that understands the concept of supply and demand, the biggest factor of capitalism, will know that when supply is down but demand is high, products can be worth heaps. Now, currently, like I stated, the demand for cannabis is huge. The more it's being decriminalized, the more it's being incorporated into different medicines, the more and more the demand is going up. But at the same time, we're actually running lower on a supply of medicinal cannabis. Now look, all I've talked about is very speculative, there's no doubt about it. This is a somewhat speculative stock, and it's mostly built off my assumptions for the industry. But there is reason to believe this industry is going to grow. But along with this, the industry is very likely to have a boom once it's getting more decriminalized and legalized. In places such as America, which is currently run by the Democratic government, which is being led by President Joe Biden, it's rather likely that in the next 4 years it's going to be slightly or majorly decriminalized in America. Now, a lot of the world will follow that with time, and that's why Vertigrow isn't something that I think people can invest in now and then in the next couple of months be very happy with the reward, and it's the reason that I'm currently trading at a loss, because it's a long-term penny stock investment, which is why it fits straight into this video of a small cap long-term investment. It's something that I think will take time, but the more the world goes progressive, the more the world is decriminalizing, utilizing it in medicine, the more and more we are going to have the need for medicinal cannabis. So, like I stated, if they're healthy and if they can stay afloat, they should be okay with time, because I think this is just an industry that in general with time can have a lot of potential. So I'm going to quickly talk about some of their financials. They don't have everything actually available on Simply Wall Street, which is a great platform for different lookings of stocks, looking into and researching stocks, but they did have some data there which I think is very important. So now, in my opinion, they have relatively decent health. I'm going to put a balance sheet up right now over my head, but as you can see, they have more long-term and short-term assets than they have liabilities. Now that's something that I think is incredibly important when purchasing into a company, because if you were owning a company, you would want that too. It's very important to have more assets than you have liabilities. Now, Vertigrow with the ticker code RGI also has a stable cash runway, and they're forecast to have a cash runway for 4 months due to estimates. Now, they have a current market cap of 14.4 billion, which in my opinion means that there is potential room for growth. Now, it's a lot easier to turn a company that has a market cap of 14.4 billion into 30 billion, whereas turning a company which has a market cap of 150 billion into 300 billion isn't as likely. So now, due to its market cap size, I'd say there's still a lot of room for growth, yet at the same time I still think it's enough money to be going fine. Vertigrow is currently trading at 5.4 cents a share, and I do need to state they're currently in a trading halt pending an announcement. This trading halt's been going on for a little bit, but I believe that on the 29th of March, as long as everything goes to plan, their trading will be continued again. So like I said, it's currently trading at 5.4 cents a share, and it has a 52-week high of 11 cents and a low of 3.8 cents. Now I do need to state there's a lot of fluctuation with Vertigrow. That's something that I've seen a lot since even holding it, but even in the past there's been quite a bit of fluctuations. Having volatility in a share price isn't something everyone wants, however, if it's long term, you shouldn't be panicked by volatility. Like I said, this is a long term investment in my opinion, so it's something I don't think I need to be panicking about since I'm in a loss, since I do believe in this company, and I think that with time, when it's getting decriminalized like I stated, it should be okay. So I'm not going to hold on to you guys forever. I already think I talked longer than Jimmy. That's a bad habit of mine. I can talk forever. I reckon really if I was underwater you could still hear me talking. So thank you all for watching, and once again, go subscribe to Jimmy, and while you're at it, feel free to subscribe to me too. Thank you all for watching. I hope that this has provided you all with some value watching, or hopefully some enjoyment, whichever, you do you. But if it has, make sure to like the video down below, and go give Jimmy's channel a visit. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to comment which penny stock are you looking to hold long term. There are plenty out there, so I'd like to hear your thoughts too. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.